Welcome everyone to today's webinar, Conversational Messaging for Retail, Enhance Customer Experience, Reduce Operating Costs, and Increase ROI. My name is Lauren McDonald, Senior Marketing Manager at Haywire, and I'll be your moderator today. First, let's start with a few housekeeping items. This webinar is being recorded and will be shared with attendees tomorrow. And this webinar is an hour long. We will have 10 minutes at the end for Q&A, so please type in any questions that you may have in the chat box. If we run out of time, we'll send an email with your answers afterwards. So without further ado, today's presenter is Haywire's Senior Sales Engineer, Mike Kane. Mike, take it away.
Thanks a lot, Lauren. Really appreciate it, and really appreciate everyone who was able to attend the webinar today. Like Lauren said, this is going to be emailed out to everyone, so in case you possibly miss anything, you'll certainly have that handy and ready for you. So here's the agenda for today. Roughly going to run about an hour. Really going to start out and focus on who Haywire is. I'm sure you might know about our solution. You may not know about us as a company. Talk about texting trends and what we're seeing in the marketplace. And then actually get into showing you our products and give you an overview. Associate some of the use cases that we're seeing for retail on our customer base. And then actually show you guys a live demo. Really towards the latter part of the presentation, we're going to get into one of our upcoming releases, which is Facebook Messenger for Salesforce. And then really the last two items is focusing on why Haywire as a texting solution for your contact center and business. And the last is just general Q&A. So a little bit of background on us. So here's me. I'm a Senior Sales Engineer here at Haywire. I work closely with the sales team and really for all matters I'm the subject matter expert for our products. A little bit of background about us. We are based in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And really our background is we are a full-scale carrier as well as a full-stack solution. We provide enterprise and carrier-grade mobile messaging cloud solutions. And we have handled as much as 8 billion messages throughout the course of our life cycle. We really are an industry leader. You're probably very familiar with a lot of SMS providers. We're the only conversational messaging provider that is fully integrated with Salesforce and fully integrated with Salesforce's omnichannel. We're also a leading Salesforce ISV partner with currently all 5-star AppExchange reviews for live text agents. And really one of the most important differentiators is we are fully architected to handle not just SMS, but our mobile messaging cloud is fully set up to handle messaging from other IP messaging such as WhatsApp, Viber, and any other IP messaging service that might come across our door. So it's always important to not talk about what you're able to do, but really talk about the folks that you're powering and making more successful. Here are some of our key brands that we have. Jarden Corporation, Wendy's, Motif, NCR Silver Division, as well as our local client here in Vertex Pharmaceuticals. So really going across the gamut of verticals and from both retail, financial services, all the way down to consumer and home goods. So currently in the market, what most companies are using text for is exclusively outbound blasts, which are great. However, we think it's limiting in terms of what a brand could potentially do with text, which is why we focused on having a fully two-way system rather than just doing outbound blasts. We're seeing that we're getting significant lifts from our client base, particularly in a couple different facets. Texting is now becoming the overarching medium that clients want to use. You've heard Mark Zuckerberg in recent months. He's indicated that people want to text businesses the same way that they text with their friends. And that's really our whole motivation and our whole focus, which is we think that there's a huge opportunity for contact centers and businesses to start using text from not a just one-way perspective, but a full life cycle and two-way conversation that you can have with someone. We're seeing some of the benefits from that really kind of opening up the door to significant cost savings. Agents can handle multiple text conversations whereas they can only handle one voice call at a time. And what we're seeing is that through our research, that a voice call is costing on average $12 when factoring in labor and telecom costs as well as technology costs. And then for conversational text, we're seeing it as low as $3. So it really, it's not only something that is a preferred medium for consumers, it's really becoming now a huge cost savings for clients such as Wendy's, where on average we're somewhere between 25 and 35% of their overall inbound volume. And then with NCR, they're seeing the cost per call be lowered as much as 25%. So significant savings and kind of significant KPIs around it as a whole. A little bit more about us. So obviously with conversational messaging and texting changing and going from one-way blast, we designed our products to really enable businesses to leverage text in ways that they've never even thought of. The first is livetext agent for contact centers. This is a product that is focused primarily around the one-to-many type usage, whereas an individual or individual resource could text into a contact center and it could be fielded by multiple folks within the contact center. The other side of our product offering is a one-to-one focused solution called Business Messenger, which we're seeing quite an uptick in terms of sales professionals using it, direct sales organizations using it, as well as we're seeing significant usage for field service organizations. So always important to kind of get back to where the rubber meets the road. A scenario where you could see this is and where the organization can use our applications across both their contact center as well as into their brick and mortar businesses is just this. So we have a scenario where Michael flew into San Francisco. Only problem is that the airline lost his luggage, and he's got a big meeting the next day, and he doesn't know what to do. So he texts into Macy's for a last-minute attempt to try and get a new suit. So you can see here that he's able to text their existing 1-800 number, which is a function that Haywire provides. It's going to get delivered to one or many agents where they'll be able to interact with Michael, maybe based upon his existing profile. They know what his sizes are, what colors he likes. So they're able to pinpoint some suits that maybe might be a good fit for him, understand which ones are within stock, and then through text be able to complete a full transaction with Michael. So once that transaction is complete, Michael is given the details of that transaction, and then from there, the contact center is actually contacting the store manager, letting them know that they've just created a case. This case is now associated with Michael, who is a VIP premium shopper, just letting them know that there might be a scenario where they would want to keep an eye on the order that Michael placed so that perhaps they either get there early. They provide anything that's going to give a unparalleled customer experience for Michael and any other customers that might have themselves a similar situation. So from there, you can see that the store manager takes that case, realizes that Michael's an important client, and then is sending a text to the personal shopper at Macy's that would handle men's footwear. And as part of that, letting them know, hey, we've got someone that's coming in. This is what his picture looks like. This is what the details of his suit. Can you make sure that everything's coordinated in time for his arrival? He's likely going to be waiting outside the door. So it's really going across the entire gamut of our solution, where it's going from initially from a contact center, from an individual to a contact center. The contact center is then reaching out from livetext agent to Business Messenger, and from Business Messenger you're able to interact with someone else that's using Business Messenger. So really running the full gamut from a contact center use case all the way down to a one-to-one texting session. just some additional use cases that you might find yourself or we find as part of texting being pretty common. Order and shipment statuses, so sending details around any updates that might be helpful for a client. Customer feedback is huge with the adoption of social media, particularly social media for businesses. We're seeing the text being a very very private channel for businesses, so it's a really good way to funnel feedback that you otherwise would not want on the internet, on the interwebs, where it potentially could have a potential negative impact on your brand. And then, in addition to that, really being able to offer product information or being able to place orders over text is a common use case we're getting. Frequently asked questions on policies, exchanges, returns, and then gift card and credit card account management, as well as just the most basic question, which is where can I come in and visit one of your stores? So there's a lot of different use cases. I'm sure there might even be some additional use cases that you guys have in mind that we haven't even thought of, but based upon our current client base and our current prospect use cases, this is what we're seeing overall. So this is where I'm going to switch over to a live demo and give you guys a breakdown of really how our solution works, how you might be able to leverage it, and from there, get into showing you Facebook Messenger and really turn around for some Q&A so we can make the most of the time for everyone. All right, so here you can see on the left, we have what is Service Cloud's console view. This is what an agent would see. This is what their experience would be like. On the right, I have a web page where, from a mobile perspective, we have a button embedded in this web page where as soon as I press that, it's going to immediately open up my texting window. So then I can say, so that is what it would look like from the consumer standpoint. So I've got a couple of these in queue, and I can see immediately where are they texting into. They're texting into the customer experience number. This is the number here that they're able to see, and it's really giving them context of who is calling or texting them as well. So I'm going to accept this, and what it's going to do is we have a configurable screen pop option so that we can pop any related records as well as pop the related objects that you would want to present. So in this scenario, the way that we have it set up is I have the customer's already gold. So we text it in, we indicated that he's connected to an agent now, and we're able to give him context of that we're now helping him, and really giving perspective on what's been going on with his account. So from the very most basic standpoint, we have a detailed pane that shows every related object to this person. So we can see we've got quite a few appointments. We've got even a case associated to him, and we can even see the live text transcripts so that we can see maybe where this was left off with a previous agent. So giving you good context to someone, really trying to understand how you can potentially help them, more importantly, potentially how you can impact them to come to your store more frequently. So in this scenario, we have it set up so that already sent in a couple of different messages. He's even been able to send in a picture message. Now, we do offer full two-way SMS, but we offer a full two-way MMS, which is picture messaging. Should someone not be able to do that, we also offer the option of sending requests for an image. So if I wanted to be able to securely and safely upload images, we'd certainly be able to do that pretty easily here. here, and I was able to post that, and then there we go. See, it just posted back to the console view. As you also saw here, the tab turned yellow after a specified period to let me know that I need to interact with this person and that I really have left them for too long. So as soon as I then respond back, it's going to remove that color, so I know that there's kind of no critical juncture to where I need to be able to circle back with someone. So we're able to see the two-way interactions back and forth between the consumer as well as the contact center agent. We do offer full native quick text as part of our solution. So if you want to standardize the way that an agent is interacting with someone on frequently asked questions or frequently based items that an agent would be expected to answer or interact with someone on, we do have that full functionality. And I believe I covered it before, but just so it's clear, we do have full native integration to Salesforce's Omnichannel, so that if you are already using that, that's something that we would fit very, very easily and nicely in as well. So that's the inbound and outbound that you can see between the two individuals. Haywire is part of our livetext agent solution. We also offer fully trigger or event-based text as well. So within this org, I have a couple different examples. The first is if you wanted to be able to trigger text based upon an appointment or maybe based on a product order. So in the scenario of Michael ordering a suit from Macy's, he could potentially get an automated notification from the agent who placed the order for him simply by coming in here, saying, suit order. So then I'm going to do product X, extra special, and then we're going to hit save, and what's going to happen is it's going to kick off a text message, and I'm going to be able to see here quite simply that my order is going to be available, and more importantly, it's even going to tell me when it's available and what the location is of the store. All of these are items that we can pull as part of merge fields out of Salesforce, so making it not just a one-way notification, but a very powerful one-way notification with all the data that you might want. And really, the biggest difference is that with most other solutions, if I do get an outbound blast update, I'm not able to respond to those. With our solution, you are able to respond to those, and they will get routed back to the Salesforce console. So, switching gears, I'm going to switch and show you what it would look like for our full campaign integrations, if that is something that we have just launched recently. So, now, if you're not familiar with what campaigns are, this is a native object from Salesforce. And what it's really designed to do, it primarily started as an email channel to where you can begin to configure whom you want to send a message to and then how frequently you want to send a message to them. You also want to have data around how well is that message performing, how many received it, how many opened it. And so in our case, we utilize the standard campaign object. So that functions off of contacts and leads. And through using variables, you're able to determine which folks you want as campaign members. So here we'll just say, we're going to mark it as active, so we can send messages. Save this. And from here, this is where you quickly and easily be able to just go and manage members. So we're going to add a couple members here. And we're going to use the name, use campaigns, and let's find articles. Go. David Goldstein. Add the status of sent. We're going to go back to the campaign. We're then going to send text to members. This is where you'd be able to configure which phone number you want to use. So in this case, we'll just use Haywire Customer Experience. We're going to filter by status. We're going to, after send, we're going to mark that he has a status of sent. Worry about duplicates. From here, we're going to be able to go confirm that we have one recipient that we're sending the message to, and then I'd be able to hit confirm. So Haywire, as a carrier, we do offer short codes as part of this integration, and we would be able to give you the ability to send tens of thousands of messages at once. So while I'm only sending it to one recipient now, this is something that is really meant and designed to be sent to thousands of folks within any blast. Send that, and then boom, just got stated. So that really is livetext agent as a whole from a high level. And it's really something where you can see that it can function from both an inbound and outbound perspective, an automated text perspective, and then also can do full outbound texting blasts or campaigns. So really, across the entire perspective, there's a lot of different functionality that might be applicable to your business as well as many others. I'm going to switch gears and pivot to a different solution, which is our business messenger. So here, so business messenger, as we discussed it earlier, is designed as a one-to-one communication tool between either field service folks, sales professionals, really anyone and everyone who might need to be able to interact over text, but also wants to be able to relate that or differentiate that traffic to Salesforce. So we designed our system so that it is fully across multiple platforms. So our solution is set up so that it is designed and built for Apple, so Mac, iOS, Windows, as well as Android. So what I'm showing you right now is our Mac client as well as our iOS client, as those are the preferred hardware that I use. So just so you can see it right away, coming into the solution, you're able to see that Tim Barr is a Salesforce contact here. We're able to see who he's interacting with, and that would be me, and we're able to see quite easily who is a non-coworker, who is a Salesforce contact, and then who is a Salesforce contact. And the way that I'm able to quickly and easily differentiate those is we have contacts. So if those are not coworkers or within my native org, they're going to show up as a grayed out item. We can then determine who are coworkers by quickly clicking here and seeing that they have this logo associated. And then Salesforce being the most obvious, this is where I can see that quickly and easily as well. From a overall standpoint, our solution allows you to do auto replies. So if I wanted to do auto replies, letting folks know that I'm available, or even a custom one, we can certainly do that. You can even append it with a signature so that folks know that perhaps you're messaging them from your work phone, not your personal phone. And then obviously one of the most important parts is being able to log into Salesforce, whereas I'm logged into one of my Salesforce orgs right now. So you can see this in action. This is something where I can sync any of my activity to Salesforce. I can associate a contact to be related to an opportunity. I can see that he's associated with a case already. router. And then I can even pull up his individual contact record here as well, where it shows what Tim Barr's experience has been, what any related information you might have in Salesforce learned as well. So we can see here that there's been quite a bit of messenger outreach and activity over text. You can see that he's able to really have some visibility to what's going on with Tim Barr. But the good news is that across the board, it's a solution that you can use really whether you're a power user or whether you're really just someone who lives outside of Salesforce all day. You just want to be able to take that activity and then relate it back to someone. So I can certainly jump and do that. And then the other important thing that would be important for you guys to see is we do have standard opt-in and opt-out. So whereas with many other solutions, you do have to set up your own opt-in, opt-out tables, manage the opt-in, opt-out really entirely as a separate practice. That is something we offer as a native component of our solution. So I'm able to see here that if I select opt-out, I will not be able to send him a message. So you're going to see right away that even if I wanted to send somebody a message, I couldn't. And again, this is something that is not just on our Business Messenger platform, it's also on our livetext agent platform, which was the first option that I showed you. Going back to opt-in, and then from there, you can see the same level of functionality is associated with the mobile app. So I want to, from a busy salesperson, I'm constantly on the go. This is a tool that they're going to be able to use on the road the same way that they would use from a desktop perspective. So if I wanted to create any kind of new opportunity or new case, I can do that straight off of the tool. I can even open it in Salesforce-1. Pop that. It's going to load all Tim Barr's information. So that way, if I really want to have a good visibility of what the heck's going on with the contact, I can do that. And I can really see any other important related information for him as well. Conveniently, this is where you'd also be able to send a text message from Salesforce-1. So if I wanted to be able to send a message to Tim Barr, I can do that here. Jump in here. Send a message. And there we go. So you see that came in from my business messenger number of 617-340-6543. And we'll show that you can even do the same thing within the desktop application as well. So if I'm a power user of Salesforce and I want to live in my Salesforce org and I want to be able to send text, same as I did in Salesforce-1. And there you go. Seeing the messages sent there. Now, if we refresh the page, we'll be able to see that this activity is all within Salesforce, all showing you, really what has been going on in that person. So we'll scroll down here. And we'll see that not only that we have the message outreach at high, we also see the previous opt-out history of something. So if that's ever something that your organization is looking to mine and understand how often people are opting in or opting out, you would have that activity associated with your Salesforce org. So really, those are the two products that we offer here at Haywire. And it's really how we are seeing our client base leverage them. What I'm going to do now is I am going to finish up the rest of the deck and then spend the rest of the time working with you folks on any So we talked about this earlier, and it's something that's huge for us. So we started Haywire more than 4 years ago. Our product is about 18 months old from a Salesforce perspective, and SMS was the primary medium that we initially started off on. We're now moving into other IP messaging services, and the first one is Facebook. And we're super excited about it because we think that it means some really, really cool stuff for businesses. And so what I want to do is I want to go through our renderings that we have for this. We are launching this in 35 business days at Dreamforce, so we're super excited. We'll have to have you guys come to our booth so you can see it in person. But just so you can see what it would look like, we showed you what our widget looked like from an omni-channel perspective. Here is showing you what it would look like as an agent if I had multiple different conversations in queue. So the top one is showing me that I've got a text coming in for a support number. I've got one below that that shows me potentially what that might look like when we support that. And then the bottom text session is actually a Facebook message with the cool Facebook logo here. So as you accepted that message, similar to what you saw with text, it would pop open a chat panel. It's going to give me access to seeing the individual's name and the individual's picture from Facebook that they present to you. So from the get-go, you can have a good understanding, maybe of who you're talking to, and essentially how you might be able to help them even better. From there, we're going to be able to present the projection or pop of their Facebook page. This is going to show any associated details that they get access to. So perhaps maybe their phone number, their email address, any related information that they're going to give you access to, you as an agent would then be able to see as part of this screen pop. Now, with our solution, we're already able to associate activity from certain text sessions or chat sessions back to specific objects. So in here, we're showing you what it would look like from a manual perspective of maybe auto-linking the Facebook message interaction that you have with David to a specific object. So in this case, perhaps it was account, maybe case, whichever one is going to make the most sense for you as an organization. And then you'll even be able to do things that just aren't available within the SMS ecosystem, which is with Facebook Messenger. You can do really cool things like send a video, send a file, generate a poll, and then even generate a receipt. Now, these are still in their infancy, so I'm sure Facebook will continue to come up with even cooler stuff. This will show you how you can interact with your existing customer base or even new customers in a totally unforeseen way over Facebook Messenger. Here's showing what a poll would look like in terms of its initial call to action, or click to action within Salesforce. So really giving you a good perspective of what Facebook would look like and really what we're planning on offering. So the last part before we get to questions is really, why Haywire? So we talked at the beginning, really we are an enterprise mobile messaging cloud. So we fully scaled, we have redundant data centers, we are fully architected for Salesforce and more importantly across multiple platforms. So we really feel like from the most basic level, from architecture and infrastructure level, we are vastly superior to our competition. Throw into the fact that we do have a full stack solution versus in a lot of other scenarios, it's a build situation where you have to have custom development in order to get going. Ours is you can install our managed package and get going really within minutes. The only thing that pull that back is us provisioning phone numbers or provisioning your numbers to our cloud. So we provide the full stack solution in the sense that we provide the cloud in our messaging, and we also provide the full scale software. Other products are really just providing you the messaging cloud. The other benefit of Haywire is we're able to text enable existing 800 and business numbers at no additional charge. You can do that with some folks, however, they typically usually require you to port those over for voice capabilities as well, whereas we don't touch voice capabilities whatsoever. We're also enterprise-driven and really from both an activation and a support level. We do have a full SLA that we offer as part of our service, and that relates not only to our messaging cloud, but also to our product as well. Most other folks are really going to be developer-driven and offer no support or automation when it comes to their solutions. Another key reason is we're a leader when it comes to IP messaging. Facebook, our release for that should show that. We're the only ones in the industry or in the world to have a solution built, enterprise solution built for Facebook. And in addition, we also have the full integration to Salesforce console and omnichannel. Again, just another reason that makes it a lot easier to get installed, get implemented, and get up and running. Anyone else would have to build an application and also build an integration. And then really the last thing is the Salesforce interface saves on training and time. So if you're already using LiveAgent or you're thinking about using LiveAgent, we're giving you the ability to use another medium, but without any additional training, because our app functions exactly the same as LiveAgent, whereas other apps may require more training, more time off the phones, more time away from doing what they should be doing. So key takeaways, kind of things you should be thinking about, is that 53% of consumers today prefer shopping with a business that they can message. I think we all message, we all like using messaging. So from that perspective, that just is pretty common sense and is continuing to increase over time. We're also seeing that messaging helps promote better either net promoter scores or customer satisfaction or CSAT scores. Conversational messaging increases conversion rates and average rev per sale as compared to one-way notifications. That's obviously just, you have more influence to be able to get someone to do something, whereas a one-way blast is just notifying them of that. Agents are able to be more proactive and be able to do more. Rather than handle one voice call, they're now able to handle between 4 and 7 or 4 and 10 text sessions versus calls. And really, again, hitting back on our integration to Salesforce's console, what does this mean for you? It means that it's a easier project to get going and should have a much faster ROI timeline. So I set a time, and now it's time for you guys to voice your questions, and really looking forward to interacting on that.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike, for the great presentation and demo. We do have a few questions that came in, so let's just dive into those. Question number 1, what is the typical implementation time for the livetext agent product?
Yeah, so it can be as short as an hour or two, or for some folks it can be a multi-phase or a multi-month project. So it's much like anything else in Salesforce. It all depends on how complex of a solution you're looking to build, but it can, because of our native aspect, we can be set up very quickly and easily.
Awesome. Another question that we have here, do you have anything on Haywire security that you could share?
Yeah, so we have a white paper that Lauren and her team were kind enough to put together, and so we can certainly send that out to anyone, and I believe it should be available soon on our website.
Great. Looks like the last question that we got here, do you offer any international support?
So we do. So right now we are focused on North America and Canada, and we are going to be rolling out Europe in the beginning of September, and more importantly at Dreamforce. And then from there we do offer 24/7, 365 support for any of our clients.
Great. All right, well, that looks like all the questions that we have had come in. If anyone else has any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to Mike. His email is listed at the bottom of the slide. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Again, please feel free to reach out with any questions to Mike, and we hope that you have a great day, and we hope to see you at a future Haywire webinar again.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you.